Why the Asuras run to Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, but rarely surrender to Lord Vishnu. This is one of the most revealing teachings in all of Vedic literature. And once you understand it, you will see the entire drama of the demigods, the demons, and the Supreme Lord in a completely new light. The three personalities and their positions. First, the foundation. In the Vedic understanding, there are three principal controllers of this material creation. Lord Brahma is the secondary engineer of the universe, working under the modes of passion. Lord Shiva is the destroyer associated with the modes of ignorance. Though he himself is the greatest of all Vaishnavas, a pure devotee who never touches material contamination despite his position. Lord Vishnu, who is Krishna himself in his plenary expansion, is completely transcendental, beyond the three modes of material nitya altogether, situated in pure goodness, or what is called Suddha Sattva. This is confirmed by Srila Prabhupada again and again in the Bhagavad Gita, as it is, especially the purport to chapter 14, where the three modes of material nitya, goodness, passion, and ignorance, are explained in details. Why Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva grant boons so quickly? Now, here is the first thing a beginner must understand clearly. Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva are famous throughout scriptures for being very quickly satisfied. If a person undergoes severe austerity, tapasya, it does not matter very much to them whether that person's heart is pure or impure, whether his aim is spiritual advancement or simply the conquest of the three worlds. Austerity performed with intensity moves them to grant benedictions. This is their nitya within the arrangement of the creation. It is not a flaw or a weakness. It is simply how the modes of passion and ignorance function. Since those modes must have controllers who can be approached by those still absorbed in ambition and power. Krishna himself explains the deeper mechanics of this in Bhagavad Gita chapter 7, text 20. There he says that persons whose intelligence has been carried away by material desires surrender unto the demigods, following their own nityas. And in chapter 7, text 21 and 22, he explains further that whichever demigod a devotee wishes to worship, he, as the super soul in the heart, makes his faith steady in that particular deity, and the devotee gets his wish through that worship. But the benediction is actually coming from Krishna alone, arranged through the particular demigod. So even the boons granted by Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva are ultimately sanctioned by Lord Vishnu. Though the Asura never sees this, because he is only interested in the fruit, not the source. Hiranyakashipu is the father of Prahalad Maharaj. He performed such fierce and prolonged austerity that Lord Brahma personally appeared before him. Hiranyakashipu asked for near immortality, that he could not be killed by man or animal, by day or night, indoor or outdoors, on the earth or in the sky, by any weapon. Lord Brahma granted this without hesitation. Hiranyakashipu then used this power to terrorize the three worlds and even persecute his own devotee son. This story is told in the 7th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Ravan worshipped Lord Shiva with such intensity that he said to have offered his own heads in sacrifice. Pleased by this austerity, Lord Shiva grant him boons of near invincibility. Ravan then used this power to abduct Mother Sita and challenge the order of Dharma itself, as described in the Ramayana tradition connected to the Vaishnava scriptures. Vrikrasura, described in the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, performed harsh austerities to Lord Shiva and received a boon so dangerous that even Lord Shiva himself had to flee and take shelter of Lord Vishnu to escape his own benediction. Lord Vishnu then had to use his own cleverness to save Lord Shiva from the situation. In every one of these cases, notice what is common. The Asura's goal is bhoga, unlimited sense enjoyment, and Ashishwarya, unlimited power and lordship over material nitya. Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, by the arrangement of the material modes, can grant this quickly, because granting such boons does not require the Asura to change his basic nitya or his desire to be the enjoyer or controller. Now we come to the heart of this subject matter. The answer is that approaching Lord Vishnu sincerely requires something completely different from performing austerity for a boon. It requires surrender, what is called Saranagati. In the Gaudiya Vaishnava tradition, surrender means giving up the very propensity to be the enjoyer and controller, and instead accepting the position of the eternal servant of the Lord. This is explained beautifully throughout the Srimad Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita, particularly in the Madhya Leela, where Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami described the constitutional position of the living entity as an eternal servant of Krishna. An Asura entire identity is built upon the false ego of being the Lord and enjoyer of material nitya. To approach Lord Vishnu with genuine devotion would mean the death of that very mentality. It is not that Lord Vishnu is harder to please through austerity. It is that pure devotion to Lord Vishnu cannot coexist with the desire to dominate and enjoy independently of him. These two things are opposites. Krishna confirms in the Bhagavad Gita chapter 7, text 23, that the results obtained by worship of the demigods are limited and temporary, belonging to those of small intelligence, while those who worship him attain him, which is unlimited and eternal. But this eternal results requires an unlimited change of heart, not merely an external act of austerity. There are, of course, glorious exceptions, and these extremely important to know, because they show that the door to Vishnu is never closed, even to the one born in a demon family. Prahlad Maharaj, though born the son of Hiranyakashipu, was a pure devotee from his very birth because of devotional impressions carried from previous lives and nourished by the mercy of the sage Narad Muni, even while Prahlad was in his mother's womb. This is described in the 7th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Bali Maharaj, though an Asura by birth, surrendered his entire kingdom and finally his own body to Lord Vamanadeva out of pure devotional love, not for any material gain. He is celebrated among the great devotees for this surrender, described in the 8th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Vibhishan, the brother of Lord Ravan, gave up his own demoniac family and kingdom entirely in order to take shelter of Lord Ramachandra, choosing devotion over blood ties. In every one of these cases, notice that it was the mercy of a pure devotee or unbroken devotional impressions carried from a previous birth that allows surrender to blossom. It was never simply the Asura's own effort or austerity that brought him to Vishnu. Pure devotion is never conquered or demanded through tapasya. It only descends through the mercy. This teaches us something very precious, and for all of us in the age of Kali Yuga. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami explained in the Chaitanya Charitamrita that pure devotional service, Sudha Bhakti, cannot be achieved through pious works, philosophical speculation, or severe austerity. It depends only through the mercy of Guru and Krishna. This is exactly why Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave the congregational chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra is so extraordinary. It opens the path of pure devotion to every single person, regardless of birth, regardless of past qualification, something that no amount of asuric power or austerity can ever conquer or purchase. So, it is not that Lord Vishnu is difficult to please compared to Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva. Krishna himself says in the Bhagavad Gita that even a small amount of devotional service rendered to him is never destroyed and always gives protection. The real difference lies entirely in what is being sought. The Asura seeks power to enjoy and dominate material nitya. The devotee seeks only the opportunity to serve. And that single difference in desire is what decides who kneels before Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, demanding a boon, and who instead falls at the lotus feet of Vishnu, asking only for the mercy to serve him birth after birth. Hare Krishna.